Jamaica's government to regulate Airbnb as stopover arrival at these facilities continue to increase and becoming more and more popular across the country. This falls on the heels after the state of New York in the United States have implemented strict measures with Airbnb hosts are expected to follow. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember to like, share, subscribe to our channel. Click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. We'll be right back after this short break with the full and exclusive details. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. This is the place where we discuss issues of national importance, global importance, or the situation that are buzzing in the news. So what we want to talk about today on the program is a recent announcement by the government of Jamaica, or should I say the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Ed Bartlett, who made the announcement that he'll be regulating the local Airbnb sector. Now, with this said, the government have also stated that the sector last year raking over 100 million US dollars, and I believe that the government believe that they need to capitalize on this milestone achievement, that this sector is actually a booming sector, creating a whole lot of revenue for different individuals. So I believe that this came to the government attention and they saw the need to implement measures in order to get a piece of the pie. Now, this is a booming sector that has been expanding as the days and years go by, and we have seen a number of places being developed and multi-million dollar facilities being constructed in order to facilitate more and more stopover visitors as this sector continues to expand and go beyond the boundaries that even the country itself can keep up with. Tourism is a vital product of Jamaica, and Jamaica rely heavily on tourists visiting our wonderful country in order to experience a part of our culture, our music, and just the whole entire vibes. Now, with the regulation to come on stream for the local Airbnb sector, many hosts have begun to worry about the whole entire implementation of these procedures and whether or not this will affect or impact their business venture in some way or another. Now, we're about to discuss some plans that we believe that the government or the Minister of Tourism will be implemented in these facilities in order to protect the safety and also the well-being of stopover visitors to these Airbnb facilities. These are just a few that I believe that will be implemented but not limited to. So this is where we're going to get down into the nitty-gritty of the whole entire thing. Now, when you know the government actually came on board this whole entire thing, is the fact that it was announced that the sector raked over 100 million US last year. Now, the government, I believe, want to be a part of that, and in anything that you're going to be registering with the government, you know is there going to be a fee that you're required to pay. So I believe that these local sector are going to have to pay a fee in order to be registered as an Airbnb host in Jamaica. Now, this is one of the things that people have been pointing out and looking towards. How costly will this fee be, or whether or not this fee will be implemented in order for you to host individual guests or multiple guests at your facility. But before I get into the details of that, let me provide you with some information as to what New York City has done and rolled out in order to regulate their own Airbnb system. So the enforcement of strict and new regulation that limits residents' ability to rent out their home through platforms such as Airbnb has now been implemented. As we all know, Jamaica is about to implement their own regulation, and we know that they're going to look on what the US is doing in order to copy and also manipulate their own system in order to regulate our own system here in Jamaica. So the move is expected to lead to the removal of thousands of listings from the Airbnb platform. It is the largest and potentially most consequential development in recent years, a feud between the big cities and the home sharing companies. The city urges that the proliferation of short-term rentals through Airbnb and other platforms has pushed rents and helped fuel New York City's housing shortage. So this is one of the main reasons why the United States has implemented this measure in order to curtail the housing shortage, because a number of individuals, instead of renting out their apartments or their different homes for a long-term stay, they are doing it as Airbnb, which is short-term stay. Airbnb has said that the new rules amount to problems on their platform, and other critics say that the city is bending to lobbying of hotel industry and locking out cheaper options for visitors. For years, the city has maintained that the existing law preclude people from renting out their homes to guests for less than 30 days, unless the host is present during the stay. The city also asserts that no more than two guests are allowed to stay at a time, and that they must have already access to the entire property. But there continue to be numerous listings for rentals of whole apartment and homes, and the city has argued that companies such as Airbnb are not policing their platform aggressively enough to root out the violators who are not adhering to the policies outlined by the New York State. So the discussion have begun to have the lucrative Airbnb segment of Jamaica's tourism sector, which raked in more than 100 million US last year, become part of the formal system. Speaking with journalists in Montego Bay, St. James on Tuesday, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett said that was one of the issues he had raised a day earlier with the cabinet. The development of this particular business model and also the broader layer of economic activity, like everything else, will have to go into the formal system. Because, for one, the destination assurance strategy that we are embracing has to ensure that the visitor who goes anywhere in Jamaica is safe, secure, and has a seamless experience, the minister said. So the minister further added that there have been talks of licensing regime that are going to have to become in effect a renewed feature of the tourism system and also the experience. Under Jamaica's new regulation, the government will be looking at properties that are Airbnb suited and also the physical landscape of properties to determine whether or not these are tourism friendly. Investment in real estate, which is then used to generate rental income, has become popular in Jamaica. Both local and visitors patronize these properties, especially when there are large entertainment events such as Reggae Sunfest in Montego Bay and Dream Weekend in the Grill. In Jamaica, Airbnb facilities can be found in various parishes and also in various communities, which is raking in millions of dollars each year. Every day, Airbnb hosts in Jamaica offer a unique stay and experience that make it possible for guests to connect with communities in the most authentic way. Over the past 2 years, Jamaica has seen an influx of Airbnb hosts being generated across the country, and also new development taking place in order to foster to the creativity minds of many others who want to visit this wonderful country. But with that said, based on the advancement in this sector, the government want to put it under their umbrella in order to regulate the sector. So now I'm about to provide you with some regulations that were recently implemented in the state of New York. Hosts are now required to register with the city to be allowed to rent on a short-term basis. In order to collect fees associated with short-term stays, Airbnb, Booking.com, and other companies must check that a host registration application has been approved. I strongly believe that the Jamaican government will implement similar measures such as these in order to regulate their own local sector. Starting Tuesday, hosts who violate the rules in the United States could face a fine of up to 5,000 US for repeat offenders, and platforms that could be fined up to 1,500 for a transaction involving illegal rentals. Since these new regulations were outlined in the United States, there have been fewer Airbnb listings available. So a number of these facilities that normally host guests from all over the world had to pull their ideas from the table and go back to the drawing board in order to see how they can regulate their own personal facility in order to coincide with the new government regulation. As it relates to Jamaica, Jamaica is new to the whole entire thing, and we just hope that the Jamaican government does try to find ways and means of implementing policies that will sustain the system itself and also to grow the sector within the local tourism space. As you know, the stopover visitors at Airbnb continue to increase, and a number of individuals have been using Airbnb in Jamaica because some of them are so well put together and have been raking in millions of dollars each year from these facilities. The government now just need to go to the drawing board and try to find what is best for our own country and our own culture and our own well-being, and not try to copy what the United States is doing, which is a first world country. We need to implement our own measures and also policies that can coincide with our own living in Jamaica, and not to copy what the United States is doing based on their system is a bit different from ours. However, we just wait and see how this goes and what are the plans that the government have for the local Airbnb sector. This is where I believe I'm going to leave this report though. If you have anything to say, you can just drop it in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Peace out and have a blessed and productive day from the Links TV team.